Hello and good morning stream, good morning world. Hi, how are you? Hello Sky the Gamer, welcome Shakira, hi, how are you? Mohit, welcome to the stream. I hope you're not skipping anything because of me, and welcome everyone else. Yeah, so today is a I think, do you call it in English unscheduled? I scheduled it, but it is not in my regular schedule, so welcome to that. I drew not too long ago a portrait of Reardon. You might know her, and she noticed and she posted it on her community page, and in that video I promised that I will also draw, or I suggested that I could also draw Dave Reardon, her husband, who is also part of the channel. So today is hello Jane, hi. Thank you very much and welcome to the stream. She posted it on her page, and then there were a couple of people from her channel who came over. Thank you everyone for that. And they said yes, please draw Dave, and so I will be drawing Dave. And I thought, why not? It is the Reardons are from Australia, and therefore a different time zone. My normal stream is in my evening, which is the middle of the night for them. So just for their viewers and in reverence of them, I decided to do this unscheduled, scheduled live stream. So if somebody out there from Australia, I know our Shakira is, that they can join, just as a token of appreciation. So exactly, so yesterday we also had a stream. If anybody's interested in that result, it is not fully done. There is something around the nose that I should fix, something is not right there, but other than that it turned out pretty okay. I like very much this grey paper these days, and white pencil with that. It is a great effect and it is a lot of fun. And, but I will be drawing today Dave, as I said, and I will draw it in the same style as this. This means it is a very yesterday we also had a stream. If very, what do you say? It is not fully done. The paper is not coarse. I don't get I don't find the word right now. It is very smooth. That is the word. I'm not native English speaker, if you haven't noticed. It is very smooth, and so it allows for a lot of detail, but it also has its own pitfalls, so that, for example, if you draw too smoothly, also it does not really look like a texture of skin or something. It might look very unreal. So I'm not saying that I did not fall into that trap with the end picture, but we will do everything that we can to have now a good and kind of fitting and matching Dave portrait. Hello Mohit, how are you? And so it allows for a lot of detail, but I hope you're good this morning, and I hope you're not missing something because of me. Exactly, so, and we will then start. Let me switch to the drawing. That means I will be a little smaller and you will see the picture that I got, that I will be drawing today. I will hit my local record button. That is what you have just heard there, so that I have this also on my PC, so I can work with the video file later for the time-lapse. There's always a time-lapse that I'm doing later. I was aiming for this to have a time-lapse already available in the course of this day. I'm not sure that I will be able to do that, and I probably am also forced to have a little bit of an Easter break, which is not a bad thing, but I originally planned differently. So the time-lapse video might be a bit later than I anticipated. Something is echoing in the background. Time-lapse. There's always a time-lapse that I'm doing. Difficult to say. So the thing is that, let me quickly check that, but I'm not sure. Ah, you know what? Better. Mirodark, welcome. It should now be fixed. Also to let you know, it looks like there is about a 40-second delay in the video. Something around that. So if you write something, one of the reasons why I do not directly react is I might be concentrated on the picture, but also there is a delay in chat. Thank you very much, Mirodark, for also confirming the delay, and thank you very much for watching, for coming. So I hope you're well. Where I am, it is morning. I have done everything to start the day. The dogs are also happy. The dogs are not with me here right now. They are sleeping in the living room, and we will now start. Yeah, if something is not right, just let me know. I might not notice. Also because today I do not wear the headphones, so I do not even hear the music that you are hearing. So I always like to start with the eyes, because if you leave the eyes for too long, the face can look very creepy. Perfect. Thank you very much for letting me know that it is fixed now. So I like to really have the eyes out of the way. Also, if you go for both eyes, they are also not enough coffee. They are always one of the most important things to show a good proportion in the face and a fitting proportion. So when you draw the eyes, you can always see already, does it go into the right direction? They have to be the same size and everything. So it will be also something where we will start today. So as I said, there are different types of paper that we can use. This one is the very smooth one. On it I will be working a lot with this mechanical pencil, because the mechanical pencil is very hard, so you have a lot of control. And I can erase it very well, in contrast to the other darker pencils. Although in general on this paper it is a little bit easier to erase. And on this paper also I will not go as quickly as dark as I do on the other paper. As I was already showing in the beginning, this is the picture I have drawn in yesterday's live stream, and there I go more or less directly to the darker pencil, to the 8B that I'm using here, all the time. Mohit, well, she saw her portrait, so she probably will also see this. And it is for Dave, isn't it? So, although perhaps I'm pretty sure that Anne also likes pictures of a husband. So for everybody who does not really know perhaps Dave, if that is the case, he is not only part of How to Cook That and Reardon's husband, he is an author. He has written a whole lot of books, but I think under his own name, actually only the one. Remind me of the title. I'm very sorry. I should be more prepared about the people that I'm drawing. But The Deep Enders is his book that he has written. Yeah, and this is Speaker, and he is a very, very cool guy. If the channel and the videos and what he's doing there is any kind of indication. And we have kind of, in this picture at least, we have kind of the same hairstyle. I'm a bit more, and there's a bit more here. Quarantine, because of quarantine. The sides have to be shaven also with me, but that's quarantine hair. So, but also to let you know about the difficulties here. For example, if you have, the thing is, eyes, the iris is always a bit craggly. If you look at it very close up, you know, probably sure that you are aware of a lot of craggly lines you have in your eyes. There's a certain structure, so it is not a smooth structure, but on this smooth paper everything tends to get smoothed out. So you have to be extra careful to get some kind of structure in there. While it comes with other paper that is a bit more structured in itself, while it more or less comes automatically with that, because of the paper and the coarseness of the paper, you have to take care and insert it manually. So Dave has blue eyes, so we cannot draw them too dark. And I think we are for now close enough that we can add the light reflection, which automatically makes it just so much more interesting. Yeah, can be, Mohit, can be. She is a very kind-hearted person. If the expression, if no, I'm sure she is. I am a fan of her, so. You never know if you haven't met people, but I am very sure with her. So you see, just a couple of dots in there, white, and they look a lot more lively. So we'll go in there and add a couple of shading areas around the eye. I do not have yet decided how dark I will shade everything. So you always have to, with every picture you have to decide that you translate from color into black and white, and for this paper obviously there is a decision to be made how dark everything goes and how dark is the darkest place. Normally that is limited by your pencil anyway. For example, here, mouth, this is very dark, or the head is very dark, so that will be all in with the pencils. But there is a decision you have to take how dark you shade in general the skin, and where is the lightest point and where is the darkest point, and how do you say that in English? You have to make a cut where very difficult to describe. But you have to decide. Here, for example, I could draw this very dark here, the shadow on his side, or just very light, and it influences all the other grays in the face. More or less, that is what I want to say. Kamatsu, hey, welcome. Thank you very much. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, this is not my usual time, but I might start a poll. I have gotten now a lot of additional viewers, new viewers, and while I definitely do not want to make it difficult for my current viewers to watch me, I might do kind of a poll to see which are the best times to stream. So subscribe if you are interested in voting when it comes up. So my experience with the darker paper, when I go for it with a darker paper, and it is a quicker process somehow with the gray paper and the white and the black pencils. Not only because the paper itself is quite coarse, that is actually also something that I think speeds the process up quite a lot, but also because I don't really know, perhaps somebody of you knows, for some reason I get a lot more confident and quicker there with the shadowing. I normally with this I will start and add a shadow here, but probably this will get a lot darker in the course of drawing, because this is still quite light in comparison to the skin or and the head area and stuff like that. So I will probably darken a lot later, after I have drawn in the darkest areas here, and then I have to balance the contrast. Druff Arts, thank you very much and welcome. Yamohit, as Shakira said, the streams are normally 2 hours long. This one won't be a lot longer, I guess. We'll see how far we come. It is an interesting question for this one, because I was originally planning, as I said in the very beginning, I was originally planning to have this very quickly done and then also the video released. Might take longer. A portrait on this paper, as I said, is... I cannot really foresee how far we will come in the 2 hours. It might be that I have to add a lot more. I always draw more later. There's always stuff that I fix later outside of stream, because you just have to take a step back and view it with clear eyes, with new eyes, and then you can see stuff that you missed or that perhaps is not 100% correct, like with the one from yesterday, the shadow around the eye. The eye looks a little bit the tilt of the eye does not look correct in the picture yet. But I will fix that, and then there will be the time lapse where you can see the completed picture. And for this, I might have also to take that step back and will not be able, or I'm pretty sure I will have to take that step back, and I will not be able to just finish it as quickly as I originally naively assumed. But for now, we are doing our best, and we have 2 eyes ready and looking at us. So I like to really take this gel pen for the reflection in the eyes, because it is pure white. You can add it afterwards. It is easy to do so, and those reflections have just to be really bright. And so it's a good thing to get them. Mark Bobbart, welcome. Hey, how are you? Great to have you here. Mohit, yes. My dogs are Greyhounds, 2 dogs. I think you've seen them yesterday in the break screen. There's actually also a video. I have that break. It's more or less it's the break screen. So if you haven't watched the channel trailer yet, there's also some footage of the dogs. But I've also put online the break screen with my dogs, so you can check them out if you want to. If you enjoyed the break screen, there are people that did enjoy the break screen, so so I put that one also online. And yeah, there are Greyhounds. They are ex-racing dogs from Ireland. So they were actually running on the I tend to go not dark enough. I did do a pretty okay job with Anne's portrait in terms of light and darkness. I have to be careful that I do not stay too light than now with Dave's. I want them to harmonize the portraits. I am posting a lot of shorts, Mohit. I am posting a lot of shorts. If you haven't seen them, there's actually also a playlist of shorts if you want to see them. Shorts are... Yeah, I like shorts. I'm posting shorts, but they also have their downsides. So, especially with the kind of videos that I'm making, not everybody, after watching a short of a portrait, watches a complete video of that portrait. Sometimes it's enough for the people. So I'm actually not sure if shorts are helping me or not. For example, my Harley Quinn short has gotten a lot of views recently, additional views. But nobody really goes for the full length video, which is also 8 minutes or something. So it's not one of the longest videos you can find on YouTube. So with shorts, you have to be aware, if you use them, that they are not really advertisements. A little bit for your channel, yes. I have gotten good subs from shorts. But if people are not clicking on the full-length video, just that they are subbing does not mean that they will get your videos proposed to them. That is an unfortunate thing. YouTube changed that so that you have to actually watch a video of somebody. So somebody might watch a short of mine, think, oh cool, I want to see more, let me sub, so I will see in the future more from that person, and then they forget, and YouTube does never really show them videos of me. Same for everybody else with shorts. So if you really want to view videos of somebody that you have subbed to because of a short, make sure to actually watch content or ring that bell so that you get informed about new videos, or just remember later and search for the person, because it's not guaranteed that just because you subbed, YouTube will actually show you videos of that person. So I guess what I'm trying to say is subs, shorts can get a lot of views, but they do not necessarily help the growth of your channel. Thank you very much, MacBob. Yeah, I hit that actually yesterday, so I managed to get to 1000 still in the last day of March. That is pretty cool. So thank you very much. He also with all my links to my Facebook and the Twitter and also the Discord. It's Shakira already posted the link tree, so that is the link that is normally underneath all my videos, but not the live videos. I have to find a way. I'm not even sure how to put that stuff also under the live videos. Probably schedule and then edit later, because there is a different, it's a technical thing, but there is a different screen for scheduling live than releasing normal videos, and there the description tab is very small. Not even sure you can edit as many text in there. So I have to say, I already see him a little bit through the eyes, so that makes me happy, but it is still very flat. So we will have to add a complete layer with darkness in there to get it more lively. Yeah, I hit 1K on Shakira's birthday, so that was quite funny. It is also actually the birthday of my nephew, so it is a very good day. So we'll actually go in there now, and I should have actually done this also here previously before I added the light reflection. My very dark pencil, but that worked. I will go in there and darken very dark areas so we can see a bit more of the contrast that's incoming. And also get a bit of feeling where we're going in terms of contrast and darkness, because I have to add a couple additional shadows in here, and they would just swamp what we have drawn yet a little bit away. Thank you very much for reading the description. My World of Art, thank you very much, and welcome to the stream. Sukaina, welcome. How are you guys? Still need something more inclusive to say than guys. I'm trying to always say friends. But, you know, humans, creature of habit. Will take a time to adjust. So I think I am fine for now with that area. Of course, there has to be a lot of more shading to a completely flat nose, but I'm also going down here a little bit, and we have to make sure that that fits with the mouth area. So we will now first go in and do a little bit about the mouth. Melissa Martin, welcome. Hey. Welcome to the stream. How are you? Yeah, people sounds also, I was considering that, but that sounds a bit also strange, doesn't it? But friends also does sound strange. I guess everything sounds a little bit strange in the beginning when you change something, right? I probably will get used to it, just saying. So, teeth. The portrait of Anne is also with teeth, just like this one. I am not a big fan of drawing teeth. Teeth can go very dangerous. They can look very strange very quickly. You know, sometimes when there is a portrait which works in general, but then the teeth make it a monster because they can look very strange when you overdo it. So the secret to drawing teeth is to not overdo it, so not really go into details. I almost did a little bit too much on the N ones. We'll see how it turns out with Dave here, but with the N portrait, it is on the brink. If I would have drawn more details in there, it might have become a bit strange looking. So if you draw teeth and you are afraid that they might look strange, just don't overdo it. Even if you put in a lot of detail into the rest of the picture, keep them a bit more vague. That normally works. At least much better as if you overdo it with the details on the mouth, on the teeth. So Lainey, good morning. How are you? Yeah, we will have this morning stream. I already said to Shaq, though, it might be the last stream of the week. I might take a day off tomorrow, just so you know. and everybody in stream knows. I might not stream tomorrow. Taking a bit of an Easter break. So how are you today, Lainey? I'm doing this stream in the morning as I am drawing Anne Reardon's husband, Dave Reardon. I have already drawn Anne from the channel How to Cook That. Now I am drawing her husband, and they are Australian. And just to be relevant to that fact and their fan base, I decided to make this a morning stream. Evening stream for Australians. Thank you very much, Lainey. Hey, Lee, welcome. Hi. How are you? Yeah, it will probably then be also, I'm considering, because Monday is Easter Monday, so I might even not post a video there. I might work on a couple of videos, but I might switch it up a little bit next week. Also health-wise, I think it is not a dumb idea to slow a bit down over the weekend. Actually, I'm not the biggest fan of this paper. But after drawing a lot of gray portraits, I'm enjoying this right now. Unexpectedly. I wanted to draw this on the Dave portrait also on the same paper as I drew the Anne portrait, to get them fitting a little bit to each other. And I was actually, I was thinking, meh, not really looking forward to that, but I have to say, I enjoy this right now. So I don't have to, and you don't have to be afraid that I will only draw gray from now on. I will probably still mix it up. Also, I haven't done something completely new for a while, so there will be, I have to find something new to do anyway. So as you can see, I'm a crosshatcher. Probably with this paper, a lot of other artists would normally go to smudging. I'm not a big fan of smudging. So with smudging, I mean going in there and, for example, with a Q-tip like this, or with an actual tool. I also have this smudge stick, which is an extra tool to do that, to get it very smooth. I don't like the look of that. I am not big fan of smudging. I am using it now for example, if you watch my Ultron video, I like the picture very much and it worked very well with the metal of Ultron. I'm not a big fan of using it in actual people, if you know what I mean. Just because of the way I'm doing it. There are fantastic artists out there whom I envy for being able to do that, and if I could do it the way they are doing it, I would probably do it. So I will continue practicing with that, but for now I prefer to not smudge. It is okay, Shakira, to get drunk on your birthday. Thank you very much, Moit, for understanding. We also have to see if we can, as I said, my nephew had his birthday and we would like to visit them for Easter and for the birthday. So we have to see how it is with all that quarantine stuff. So we will stay a bit more non-committal with this pen for now. This is the one that I can very well erase. So while I draw in darker stuff with this one here right now, we will do the most stuff with the mechanical pencil. Keeps our options open, you know. And we will darken a lot of areas later. I always say that I don't always do it. Sometimes it works also with being a bit more light, but in this case we have, as I said, the N portrait, which should be kind of fitting to this one to have the complete set. And so I will actually try to keep it a bit similar in terms of contrast. Kira, good morning. Hey, welcome to the stream. And thank you very much. How are you this fine morning? So this already helps to have this line also a bit more cleared. It helps with understanding all the proportions, and it actually seems to turn out okay. So was actually not as good. The last 2 days were amazing weather-wise. It was not so good this morning, but it looks like the sun is coming out again. Not that I can see here a lot of that, because to have fixed lighting conditions, I have kinda shut out the sun. So I can control the lighting conditions for drawing and for the camera and everything. But there's a little window up there that I cannot completely shut out, and there I can see that the sun is coming out. How's the weather with you guys? So I'm already starting to get a little bit more darkness in some areas to get a bit more of that contrast. But there will be probably one additional path over it later also. Also just to get really dark, the really dark areas in there. I've added some of them, you see the nose and the corners of the mouth already, just to give us a little bit of an indication. Sometimes when you do not do that, if you say, okay, I will start just with light and then go to darkness, it skews later. If you then add the dark places, it skews a little bit with the overall balance of the piece, and you have to rework a lot of areas. If you get in some reference points for darkness, and for me at least, that helps sometimes to directly have a better idea of how dark in places you want to go, and to get some kind of a middle ground for your middle tones. Sounds like rambling, it probably is, but if you're drawing, I hope you understand what I mean. And if not, ask. I'm here also to answer questions if you have any. Celie, good morning, and thank you very much. Welcome to the stream. How are you? Mohit, you can get the link everywhere in the other non-live videos also, but let me quickly also just...
Hello and welcome to the Sketching Greyhound. Today I want to
I have to mute this. I'm just opened my own channel so I can copy the link. So this is live, doesn't help. Yeah, so 1 second. Copy, and then where's the live stream? There, and paste. Ooh, ha! That doesn't work. Ah, Shakira is faster than I am anyway. Thank you very much, Shakira. Yeah, in that link tree you also find, also for everyone else, you find also Twitter and I think also Instagram. So I do not have a lot of followers on Instagram, so I'm trying to get that also up a little bit. So if you are on Instagram, feel free to add me there. So I'm not mad at it right now, honestly. Up until now it kind of works. I hope we will expand on that and not hurt it. You know, that can quickly change. And I have not drawn, I did not draw the N1 live. That was something that I did on the side. I haven't drawn any content creator live yet, I think. So I was a little bit nervous, but for now I'm not mad at it. So but I think that area of the face is already pretty fleshed out. We will go over here. And get this a bit more. Give this a bit more love. So I have to be careful that I don't make it too good. That it is better than the N1. I have to say, for some reason, I'm more successful with male models than with female models. I don't have any idea why. Rockstrix, hey, welcome to the channel. Light Fury, hello. Thank you very much for joining. How are you today? We are drawing Dave Reardon. I don't know if you know him. He is part of How to Cook That together with Anne Reardon. And I've already drawn Anne. Today it is her husband's turn. And it turns out alright up until now. I'm not a big fan of drawing hair, so I really appreciate that he's wearing a cap here. But I'm not sure yet how to handle that also. Also there's mesh hair here. I would probably not be able to translate that texture. So it might just be a shading, we will see. Hey, Mohit. Light Fury, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for saying that, and thank you very much for watching. I try my best. And I try a couple of different styles. I'm not sure if you've seen the Ultron, for example. That is completely different than the Anne Reardon one, or yesterday in the stream I drew this one, which I'm also pretty proud of. It's not perfect here in the area. I have to fix that shadow a little bit, but with that light and gray stuff, I like it pretty good, and I am always very hesitant to say that about my own work, so thank you very much. And thank you, Mohit, for the second subscription. Parallel world, Mohit, parallel world. So as I said, I'm not sure how dark I will go on the teeth or how detailed. The trick with teeth is to not overdo it, to not give it too much detail, even to not necessarily draw complete lines for the division between the teeth. Just give it a little bit of an idea that there are teeth and that they are not completely smooth and not all the same size and stuff. Just a couple of shadows, you know, and that is normally enough. So you see, I haven't really drawn a lot there now, just a little bit of an information that there are teeth and that there is a division between them, and a little bit of shadowing, and I might leave it like that for the rest. And yes, it is less detail than some other areas, but it will not really, you will not be drawn to it normally. So with teeth you can be a bit hesitant. I will probably just shade a little bit on the sides to give it more of a three-dimensional look, but probably that will be more or less everything on the teeth. And while it might not be 100% realistic, it is better than the alternative that it starts to look strange, like monster teeth or something. That can happen very quickly. From 12 alt accounts. Mohit, don't you? Thank you very much, but you don't have to do that. And thank you very much for forwarding the channel. That is, as I said, one of the only ways that small YouTubers really can expand. If you forward videos and stuff, and people watch the videos, that also helps. That is how, as a small YouTuber, that's the quickest way you can grow as a small YouTuber. Of course, that means that your content has to be good, otherwise people do not share it. Gaming legend Muid. Hello Legend Strix, thank you very much for watching. Another friend, hey Voidstar, welcome to the stream. Thank you very much. The whole fam is in the house. Thank you very much for watching. So we will add now more detail on this side of the face, and that is normally also the point in time where you start to notice that you have to get darker on the other side, or perhaps even you went too dark, and you want to have some bit of balance. We, for example, have quite a darker shadow down here, because there's not really a line. There's never in any face really a line dividing the face here from the neck. You have to show still that there is something, that there is some kind of division there, and you have to do that with shadow and light, and to make it look like there is not just a big neck that just comes out of your chin, you know. So there has to be a shadow that shows that here, and it has to be darker than most of the other shadows in the face. So there we have the divot in the chin. I think it's called divot, isn't it? I'm not sure. Not a native English speaker, as I always say. Dimple? Not divot, dimple. No idea right now what div it is. Something strange probably. So the dimple in the chin. So if you're new here, I started just the slideshow. You can see the other stuff I'm doing, not just on this paper. Although in that slideshow you do not see my recent gray videos, gray pictures with white pen and black pen. I enjoy that very much, and I'm doing that a lot lately. So I have to add them to the slideshow. But the slideshow doesn't work that way anymore. When I add gray ones, I cannot show them on a white background. It looks very strange. Thank you very much, Silly, for sticking around for so long. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Roasted duck, that sounds amazing. Oh, that's perfect for Easter, isn't it? Good luck with that, and I'm sure it will taste amazing. And have a great weekend. Have a great Easter. Thank you very much for being here. Treff Arts, hello, and thank you very much for the congratulations. Thank you so much. How are you today? So this area has a little bit of a texture also because of stubble, a little bit of stubble and stuff. I don't think we will really model that. So how are you today, Treff? Hello, Yeet. Welcome to the stream. How are you? Thank you very much for joining today. So here we have kind of a shadow that is a bit uniform in shading. But still to be careful to really show the three-dimensionality of the chin and everything. I'm just indicating the general shape of this shadow area, and we will clean that up then with this and the lighter pencil to get it more smoothed out. And then we have to see how dark we really have to go. I think we have to go a lot darker in most of the face actually. So let's just clean also up this line, get it a bit more visible. Light Fury, thank you very much for being here and have a great day. I appreciate you dropping by. So yeah, but in general it looks pretty okay. So we have to completely shade this area because it's definitely darker than the lightest parts of the face. And when you start with stuff like this, it normally dictates you to reevaluate the complete light and dark play on your picture and see if you have to darken other areas. Thank you very much, Yid. We are on a good way, I would say. Nothing major going wrong yet. So I'm a bit more concentrating. Something dropped off, but nothing bad. Just dropped off the table. Just paper. I am concentrating a little bit more right now. Not because this area by itself is so difficult. It's comparatively easy and straightforward, yes, but I'm also just contemplating already how to go with the darkness, and that we have to go a lot darker here, and I think I just have to take also the plunge and just go here already just a bit darker. So like I think the area there. Yeah, and then also indicate that this has to go a lot darker still. There's a little lighter area here which helps us showing that there is actually a chin and that it doesn't just morph into one area and shape. So we should also show that. And then we have the dimple. So this decision has an influence on all of that side also. That it has to get a lot darker in general. But we will first expand shadow here. So that we have this smoothed out. Yeah, might even get darker. But we will stick with that for now. And that also has, for example, implications here now in this area, because it is almost as dark, and that is what I meant, that later we will add and change still a lot of the contrasts and darkness layers. Because if you change something on one side of the face and darken it there, that might have implications on other areas, like this, for example. Thank you very much, Heat. Thank you very much, Shakira. I am actually pretty... I think it is not bad. I was a bit nervous with this one. Also because, honestly, the reference image quality is also not perfect. Not an ideal one. The Falcon one I drew yesterday, that was a very good quality, although color corrected till the doctor comes, but that's not an issue. But the details were very clear. Hello Karma, how are you? Thank you very much for dropping by. I hope you have a great day. So guys, I don't know if you have noticed, but it is April 1st, April Fool's. I'm actually not a big fan of that, so I will not pull a prank on you guys. I could in the end just rip up the portrait and say April Fool's. But did you prank somebody, or were you pranked today? Anybody there with a story? Or was there some epic prank somebody pulled on you, or you pulled on somebody in another year? I mean, we all do not have that much spontaneous human contact that we normally have, so if you're a big pranker, you might be depraved of that this year. Thank you very much, Karma. I never prank anyone. Yeah, it's the same with me. I don't think... I'm not a big fan of pranks. There are some nice pranks, but that is more so than in the area of surprises, which I think are okay. But evil pranks, for example, I'm always feeling with the victim. If I'm seeing something where somebody is... For example, there's this series on Netflix with really evil, where they make people believe that there are real monsters and stuff and so on. I actually think that can lead to a trauma if you're not careful. So as long as those people have not done something that they deserve that, I think that can be a dangerous thing. At least if the people you're doing that to are not 100% stable minds. Voidstar, thank you very much for telling us a story. One time I was pranked that school was on Sunday and I was getting late. The teacher even called me. I woke up, took a quick bath and rushed to school. Nobody was there. That sounds strange. Was it really the teacher that called you, or was that a friend of yours? For this area, I'm not 100% sure yet. I think the in general, the shading size and stuff is pretty similar. It looks a bit dirty on in my version, not like a skin shading. So I'm not sure yet how to fix that. You asked the teacher. That was actually the teacher calling. That is pretty amazing. And Mohit, did Voidstar do something to deserve that, or were you just thinking, oh, Voidstar is the kind of person we can prank like that? He will appreciate a good prank. You got the teacher to participate. That's cool. You're probably not the best listener, right, Voidstar? That the teacher thought, oh, let's teach him a lesson. Last year he pranked the teacher. Oh, okay, that explains it. Then, of course, the teacher joins in. That gives the teacher a bit of motivation, right? So we also have here a very dark area. I will now be also a bit more confident here and add that to give us a bit more of a three-dimensional effect. Thing is also, you do not have to go perfect on all of that, because I actually like it quite a lot how it looks already. I'm not sure how dark I would go with the shadows. Actually, it will be more important to me that it fits well to the end portrait. So I might not go too dark, even though it would be more in line with the original picture. You did have school on a Sunday when you were a kid, so that prank wouldn't work for me. I did not have school on a Sunday, never did. But why did you have, was that regular school or was that some kind of Sunday school? I know that there's stuff like that in the US, but I did not know that there's something like that. Is it usual in the UK to have Sunday school? And that is pretty awesome, Mohit, especially with the story before that he pranked the teacher. So the teacher had some incentive. So I think we can let's draw the ear first, and then we go for the cap, and in that with that also for the forehead. You have more, what do you mean? You have more pranks, Mohit? As long as you don't prank me, as I said, I'm not a... Although such light-hearted pranks that do not really hurt anybody, those are completely fine, those are cool. And I enjoyed the story. So... Religious school, okay, so that was this kind of Sunday school that I was thinking of. Yeah. So we were actually, I was also, why am I saying we? I was also on a school. It was not directly, it wasn't regular school, but it was run by nuns. So I had a couple of my classes with nuns. Careful that I don't strain my back again. Which was also quite interesting, but I did actually not have that much religion classes and so on by the nuns. I had there was one that taught us math. She was very strict, but she was good. Normal school through the week, then Christian school on Sunday. Ah, okay, it was an additional. Yeah, then that is exactly what I was thinking of when you said Sunday school and when I said Sunday school. So your parents were quite religious? Did not know that. Mine were semi-real, so my mother was quite, my father wasn't very religious, I think. He died when I was 18, so I never really asked hard questions like that, if he really was religious or if he just did it for my mother, because my mother was working for kindergarten, Christian kindergarten. She was very involved there, so she was very Christian, but in a very positive way. It gets a bit of a bad reputation sometimes from the stuff that is going on in the US and other places. For me, she embodied all the best from a church. You didn't do a lot of stuff about God either. We did practical things like growing veg and plants, cooking, and learning to be kind to people. That is pretty cool. That is a Christian church. That sounds pretty cool. Actually. You know, when somebody says Sunday school, Christian Sunday school, at least for me, the thoughts go directly to children sitting in quite orderly fashion and uniform in the classroom and reciting Bible verses. So good that you can correct that stereotype. No uniform, okay. So, now let me first, I think this line is pretty clear already, but let me first clean that up a little bit. We also have, for example, here a little divot. And then we will smooth this out. And then we will go nuts with our dark pencil. Also called Mr. Squeaky because he likes to squeak on bigger areas. So we was a nice place with a lot of kids from my community, most of them not religious. Yeah, I think we had something like youth clubs also in that regard. I think stuff like that it's a very good thing for a child. In today's world, I'm not sure how much stuff like that still exists. At least here in this country, a lot has changed about the time schedule that some kids have. If I look already on not my niece and nephew, but they will also get there. They are still a bit younger, but the children of my cousin, they are also adult right by now, but they already, when they were in school, they had a schedule that I would never thought of back when I was a kid. So we had school, we did homework, and then we had a lot of free time. But that has changed a lot for a lot of children. There is extra activity, sports clubs, stuff like that. I could have also have a sport club or something. A little bit I also did, but not anything in that regard. So that most children are only ready at any day in the week. They are only done after 4 or something, and then often there you have additional things and additional clubs or stuff that they have to do, elect to do, I don't know, but they are a lot busier than we were back in the day. Not sure if it's still, I do not have insight into the current standard, but I would expect that it did not get better. DM Sketching, hey, welcome. Hi, how are you? Thank you very much for joining. Mohit, so one time I pranked a friend who had pranked me, so I had a thing which you used to make fart noises, so I hit his shoes and gave him a pair of shoes which had the fart machine. That sounds cool. You could do a YouTube video of how to make fart shoes. You know. Because now I'm interested in how that shoe looked. That they did not expect that happening. that the how the shoes look did not give it away, you know. So we have a pretty dark shadow here. Here it gets much brighter, then it gets darker again. So this is an interesting area, and I have to be careful because I'm using different pencils that that we get it smooth enough, the transition between the really dark and the more lighter ones, because those are pretty important to the overall impression of three-dimensionality and realism. Also, this line is too, or do I have to go lower? So this line should go somewhere here. Yeah, something like that. Nice time to live stream, by the way. Gave me a chance to join. I know this is more of an unplanned live stream. This will not be my normal time again. You know, I streamed at this time. I'm doing it a little bit out of reverence for the model I'm drawing today, because he is Australian and this is more of an Australian compatible time. I am though thinking about, for example, I have those 2 live streams and the Wednesday live stream is not pretty lively. So I'm actually thinking about perhaps putting the Wednesday live stream back to a morning spot, because I have to say I also feel better. The thing is that I do not know how long I will be able to be streaming in the morning at all, so it might change back at a certain point in time, but why not do the Wednesday stream in the morning? Although then we only have the Buffy Club stream in the evening, so I don't know. It's difficult. Perhaps I will even do more live streams. So add a morning live stream, I don't know. We have to see. I will do a little bit of an Easter break, I think, first. And then we will see. I have more than 1k subs, that is right. Thank you very much, DM. Yeah, that went quickly, so you could not really expect that. So that is, I drew, some time ago, I drew Anne, it's only 1 or 2 weeks ago, I drew Anne Reardon from How to Cook That. I do not know if you know her. She has a modest 4.5 million subscribers or something like that on her channel How to Cook That. And she shared it. I'm extremely thankful for that. It really made not only my day, and so it's a lot of people found me that way. And yeah, that's one of the reasons I mentioned in that video that I might draw also her husband. She makes him, for example, she does debunking for she does a lot of stuff, but she also does baking and cooking debunking, stuff like Blossom and channels, content farms, 5-minute crafts, stuff that is not possible and sometimes even dangerous. She debunks that, and every time that she tries something that should be edible, she gives it also Dave to try. So she doesn't tell him what it is supposed to be, and then she lets him try it. And he's a really good sport about that. And so he is an integral part. He does other stuff too, and he is also not only does he work on that channel? Obviously, he's also an author. His book is called, that is out now. I always forget. The Deep Enders. Yeah, one of the strangest things I saw that she made him eat was there was, you know, they have really strange stuff on those 5 Minutes Craft and Blossom and stuff, where you really could think that is true. But they made ice cream out of crushed ice, I think, and active coal. And that can even, if you eat too much of that, it can even be dangerous, because active coal binds stuff in your body normally and makes you barf a lot of times. And it, for example, if you're poisoned, you take active coal. We have no squeaky here. Oh, a little squeak. And she made that ice cream. It looked pretty neat because it looks very black, of course, and it looks a little bit like, I don't know if you have it also in the other countries here around, you know how Chinese food is not really Chinese food, but I think the fake Chinese food you get in Chinese restaurants is pretty much the same. So we have black sesame ice cream a lot in Chinese restaurants, which I enjoy that ice cream very much. And the coal ice cream looked a lot like that, so it did not look bad. But she just gives it to him and he has to eat it then and give his opinion if it worked, if it is a good hack or if it is not. So I feel for him sometimes. I should have made a prank out of this for him and just draw a completely terrible portrait. You can try, DM, you can try. I've drawn a lot of people and it's the biggest reaction I've gotten yet. So I don't think there is a guarantee, unfortunately. It's a game of chance. Well, I don't do it so I get recognized by the people. It is very nice if you get I drew Melinda, for example. She her main channel in the beginning was Google Translates, and that is also over 1 million subscribers. She is also doing music and stuff, so her personal music account is smaller. I'm not sure where she's at yet. When I drew the picture, I think it was at least bigger than 100,000 subscribers. And she also she saw the picture and she put it on Instagram in her Instagram story. But stuff like that, for example, does not translate to views, not at all. I did not notice any raise in views, so I'm not sure how much Instagram really does for YouTube if you are not already big on either of the platforms. Same with all the other platforms, by the way. So I'm really small on Facebook, for example. 1,000 is not a lot on YouTube, but it is something. And but on Facebook, I don't know, 5 people or something. Thank you very much, DM. One more prank. Once I put bubble wrap or something that pops under pressure and put it under his bed and shoes. It scared the life out of him. You're pranking that person a lot. Does the person deserve it, Mohit? It seems like the person deserves it a lot. So, how do we draw this back side of the head? It kinda is a meshy, has a meshy quality. Hey Lisa, thank you very much. Thank you very much for dropping by, and thank you very much for liking the picture. How are you today? I think we will try to get that structure a little bit in here by just taking a bit of artistic freedom. Might just end in me drawing all over it again to hide what I did. But if I just shade it a little bit accordingly, it might have at least a different look than the skin. Thing is, as I said also in the beginning, structured stuff to draw, if you're not going extremely detailed, is more difficult on this smooth paper. It is more easy if you take a lot of time and draw really the small details. But let's just see if it doesn't work. We will just have to do it a little bit fainter, I guess. Also, this area is a bit darker. This is a bit darker. I need a little bit of contrast line here. Okay. So this is also just white. We have to fix that. That is not correct. Yeah. Mohit's team won. Okay, so the cap is white, but there is kind of this very faint shading, of course, also there. So I will try to have it a little bit so that we have the smallest of transitions. We have to be careful that every little mistake in darkness, having the areas a bit too dark, is directly looks like dirt or something on the shield, which is not there. But as long as it looks like believable dirt, you can of course leave it. So okay, so let's try to get this area believable. And then we have most of it. We can darken this here as a contrast line downwards, and then we are further along than I expected us to be, honestly. So lighting wise, this is actually one of the more interesting areas, and we have completely ignored it up until now. So you have different types of different shadow lines in here. I would say that he probably was, I don't know if this is a store or if it is a convention he was in. He's an author. He will have been on conventions like that. So this might be a shop area or something like that in such a convention, or just a convenience store. And there are a lot of different lights in such an area, so there can be a lot of different shadows produced by that. And this is one of those areas. And so that is also something about this picture, to make sure you have that look. You see it also, the reflection in the eyes, that there are more than one light point. So there is a more complex lighting situation going on here. Last one, I'm also a computer geek, so I did some stuff to some laptops so that when they logged in, it would send messages like self-destruct initiating. You're able to get logged off or some more. So you are quite the joker, aren't you? I have to be careful to always lock my PC when you're around. I appreciate that. That is very creative, Mohit. You see. Oops. Now I get a bit too fast. And errors happen. Somebody in the comments already proposed to get a transparent smudging guard, and that is a very good idea, but I still don't have one. Because I hate that I have to hide the picture a long time from you. Still a kid. Just coding and other stuff like IT, but I have not studied IT. Well, let me tell you, I've studied IT, and I learned much more about coding and stuff before I went to university than at university. Might be because I was not a good student, but also just because you haven't studied it does not mean that you're not good, and sometimes some people are better at it than some people that studied it. Yes, exactly. Flexible. It is a flexible eraser. It is like something you can play with. And actually, if you use it like this and make it a little bit, play around with it, it erases better than when you just use it like it is, because you open up the structure of it and it absorbs it very well. But with that kind of eraser, you can very well also draw even shapes in there if you need to, or go to exactly the place where you want to erase. And it also is very good to just lighten some areas if you got too dark, or help with a transition. So we are pretty far in. We will also look a little bit here. This is not yet, so this shadow has to come down further, somewhere around here. So do you want to study IT, Mohit? Is that your goal after school? So this is too harsh line again, and we will get in a little bit more detail and character with the mechanical pencil. Kinda went too dark here, so that we cannot really bring in the hair. So I'll just try. This is also something fun that could work very well with it. So a pencil eraser. It's a bit more common, I think, than the nettable one that I'm using. Also, so the nettable one is also pretty common with portrait artists or artists in general, but this pencil eraser might actually be enough to get us a little bit of that hair detail in here, make it look a little bit like there is the shining hair. So it is not, definitely not light enough to use the I think that works reasonably well. But we need to add also the other hair here. It's not light enough that it warrants the gel pen. Just give a little bit of the hair impression here. Difficult to just do it a little bit. Would be easier if you could see more of the hair. Just give him a little bit of the impression, because it's there, so we want to include it. It's also a bit blurry because of the resolution of the picture. Okay, so this is kinda, I have to be careful that I do not smudge with the paper now, that I move the paper too much, because that can also happen. get a little bit of transition into the shadow, and then make sure that we do not have really hard lines. Yeah, a lot of likes, not that many long-time viewers, but a lot of people who came left likes. That is very nice. I appreciate it all. I always wonder, Gray, that how you come up with all the minor details so easily. Well, it is kind of instinct. I think I've told you a couple of times that I'm not. I do not plan too much when I'm drawing, so my hand invents those on the fly a lot of times. Actually, it is instinct. A lot of it is instinct, and I think that just comes also with practicing. So when I'm in a certain area, I do not think too much about how to draw a line there. Just comes naturally that I see, okay, there is kind of a divot or something in the line, and then my hand makes that divot. So I have kind of this instinctual drawer sitting inside of me, and I just hope that he gets better and better, because I'm not really working on technique or something. You know. Yeah, I think it's training. I think it is. And instinct. I have good instincts for that. I give myself that much. Smart. Thank you very much, DM. Scooby Gang. You are on the server, I guess, on the Discord. We have on Fridays something we call the Buffy Club. We are watching, so in general everybody watches Buffy. I do not know if you know the series, quite old at this point in time, but available now on, for example, in a lot of countries at least, Disney Plus. And we are watching 2 episodes per week, so everybody watches it individually, and then we vote who is the most important character of that 2 episodes, and then on Friday I draw whoever was voted. And if you want to join that, you can give yourself the role on the Discord, Scooby Gang, and then you have access anyway to the channels. Ooh, give me a second. That is an alarm of that might influence your picture, so better. And yeah, if you want to join that, you can give yourself the role in Choose Your Own Roles channel, and then you get a green color, which means you get all the notifications that I write to the participants of the Buffy Club. And hey, thank you so much for joining. It's an honor, thank you very much. I am pretty happy, actually, I have to say. Thank you so much for dropping by. Right now I have a delay of 40 seconds, so excuse me for reacting that late. Yeah, I am actually pretty happy with it. I think I can go a bit more in with the details. But overall, I am pretty happy. There are some areas that I still have to work on. But yeah. Again, thank you so much for dropping by and also sharing the original video. I really appreciate it. It has helped me a lot. Yeah, I have drawn a couple of Joanna Hurd. Thank you very much for joining, and thank you very much for saying that. I have watched the channel for forever, so for longer than the quarantine, so I really appreciate it. Oh, I think the stream was now shared. Yeah, I think we will continue a little bit. Normally the streams are about 2 hours long, so we're almost about to wrap it up. But I have still stuff to do with the portrait, so thank you very much for sharing again, obviously. So, guess it will get a bit more lively now. Thank you very much, Irina. Thank you very much for joining. Yeah, it is. We are pretty far along. So I guess I do not have to explain who Dave is to newcomers. Thank you very much for joining. Yeah, we are drawing the second. So it started with the Anne portrait. Here it is. And I wanted to complete the set and have more or less a fitting portrait of Dave also. And there's still a little bit of work that has to go into that, and I'm also not sure if it will all be on stream today. For example, around the eyes, I have a lot of contrast in the N one. You have to be a bit careful to not make it look make-up-y when you do that. So we have to see how dark I will and can go. Also, Dave's eyes are much lighter than Anne's, so I cannot overdo it anyway. The camera a bit forward. You mean you can't see that good anymore? Or what do you mean? My cap, yeah. The issue with the cap, I have to try to be conscious of the camera, you know. My cap gets a lot of screen time sometimes when I put my head over the camera. I need to get a cap with my logo on it, you know. So at least something good comes out of it. Yeah, there are still a lot of areas where I can smooth out the shading, get the lighting a bit more to par. But we have a general overview, and it looks like it's really coming along nicely. I'm not always confident in all of my work, but this comes along pretty nicely. Sometimes there are big issues that I just can't see anymore because I've worked on it for quite some time. So that is why I always take a step back and look at it later and perhaps fix more stuff than later on. But I always collect all of that and put it into the time-lapse video. So in the time-lapse video that I will also be releasing soon-ish, I will have everything from start to finish, even if I correct stuff or add stuff, improve stuff after the live stream. You know. Yeah, my cap should get its own stream. It might not be as exciting. I hope it would not be as exciting as this stream. But yeah, my cap is unfortunately, with the setup it is difficult to not get the cap on it, because I could put this camera down a lot and then the danger would not be that big. But if I do that, then this camera would always be in view of that camera. I think today you see already a little bit of the edge of the camera. That would be much worse if I moved the camera down more. Yeah, I can let the sub my dog. That is actually my dog, if somebody's wondering. Also my logo. That is also my dog, and he is a Greyhound, so that's where the name comes from. And yeah, he is an ex-racer from Ireland. Rescue. In Australia, you know that. So if you are a viewer from Australia, I think there are also a lot of greyhounds around, and there is also greyhound racing there. And greyhounds need homes when they are done with racing, or unspeakable stuff happens to them. They get not exposed. They get disposed of. Can you say that? Is that a nice way of saying it? So they are perfect pets. So if you consider a dog, consider a greyhound. There are a lot of animals that need a good home, and they are perfect pets. When they come straight from the racetrack, they don't know anything, so you have to teach them steps. For example, ours did not know what steps are. We had to teach them not to be afraid of steps and how to even climb them. So yeah, it is really a lot of stuff that you have to teach them, but it's really worth it. They are quiet animals. They are very kind animals. They don't really bark. They don't smell as much as other dogs. They are very, very, you wouldn't expect that, but they are very, very low energy. He was not that good in races, so that's why we got him pretty early on. And he did not run classical races. There are two kinds of things they do with greyhounds. So the classical races that you know with the chasing the rabbit and stuff, and then you have coursing, it's called, and he did those coursing things, meaning that they hunt a fake rabbit that is just moving left, right, left, and stuff like that, and they try to hunt it, and then they get graded on a scale from 1 to 10, just like ice skaters and stuff like that. And he was doing that actually, and we do not know how successful he was there, but he came to us when he was 3, so he was not extremely successful, at least. Well, they are just an investment for for people, for the most of. I will not damn all the racing, the kennels. There are hopefully also some that really love their dogs and take good care of their dogs, but a lot of them, for them, they are just working animals. Actually, not completely different than we in general live with cows or something. You know, when they don't give milk anymore, you don't want to waste space in your. So it's not that different. I'm not even vegetarian, but it's kind of like that. And with dogs, they are an investment, and if they do not make money anymore, you don't need them anymore. And if they were not good enough that you can let them sire offspring and make money that way, they just are let go. And that is a very nice way of saying that. Golden Retriever, oh, that's also very cute. They are also not very, you don't see that many over here. So sometimes I try to advocate that they are really, really very good pets. They sleep for 20 hours, kind of like cats. So you would, when you see them, you would think they have to run a lot, and they love to run, but not a lot of running, because they are not. How do you say? They are not really endurance runners. They are sprinters. I think you can say it like that. At least you should understand what I mean. They run for a short period of time, short bursts. And then they are. That's enough. So we let them run a couple of times a week, and they are just happy with that. I'm thinking about having a Greyhound cam, but I also do not have that much cameras. And they are normally sitting in the living room on the couch. And they don't move a lot, so I'm not sure how interesting that camera would be, honestly. But here he is. I cannot really show him to you, but he's just coming over here. Let me see if I can just quickly. No, he's already searching a place to lie down. The big one. Yeah, the small one is younger. She actually never did make it to a racetrack. She broke her leg and could not run anymore. So she got off very early. So she also does not really know she knows even less things. For example, he was very used to ride in a car. She not so much. She doesn't like that at all. He doesn't care. And he also, from a racetrack, they are used to a lot of loud noises. So it didn't even flinch. It got a bit more because he got used to the quiet around here. But he's really very good with any kind of loud noises. He can be startled if something gets loud very quickly if there is a very loud sudden noise. He gets startled easily, yes, but he doesn't have an issue with walking close to something that is really loud, like a transporter or something. Thank you very much, Pinky Girl. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you for liking the picture. Crafty Strawberry, hey, thank you very much. Serdi, welcome to the stream. Thank you very much. Our big one, the boy, is Jesse, and the small one is Felicia. So we let them keep their names. So much we're changing for them, and I'm not even sure if they were called by those names a lot, because both did not really react very well to those names. But they are also very shut down sometimes when they come, so you don't know. But we thought so much was changing for them already, so we stick with those names. If so, we will probably I hope we will have a long life with those two, so but if there would be another one, I would definitely change the name if I don't like it. But those two are pretty okay names, cool names. We call her Feli a lot, so short. We abbreviate her name. And they are such sweethearts. They are not cuddle bugs, so with your golden retriever you can probably cuddle a lot more. They don't really... They are in that regard also a little bit like a cat. They, from time to time they want it, but if they have enough they let you know. And leave normally. They will just leave. But they are so polite and very good with children also. Yeah, but we are pretty far in. So I think around the nose we can definitely do more still. And we have to still go to that little area there that will also give us just a little bit of pep. Make it a little bit more interesting. If we color that also darker, like it is in the picture. So Bayside Local, hey, welcome. Yeah, it got a little bit more crowded in here. Hey, welcome. Yeah, I actually started with this live stream this morning so it is more compatible for Australian viewers in reference to and Dave here. So yeah, glad that you can join. Hey Jenny Lee, welcome to the stream. Yeah, we're pretty far in. I will add now this little almost black area here, so that will give us also a little bit of a pop, a little bit of contrast together with the cap, and also tell us then if we have to go darker in other areas of the face in terms of shading. Mohit already thinking of my infrastructure here. Thank you very much. Yeah, so this is, yeah, I don't really have to. I think everyone who comes, I don't have to introduce Dave. So I drew Anne first, and in that video also I implied that I could also draw Dave, and I wanted also to draw Dave, so I planned it already. And then there were, because Anne was so kind to share the link to that video with her community, then there were a lot of people who told me that they are really interested in that Dave portrait. So here we have it. Who am I to decline? And the channel, how to cook that, I think it's, I read it also in comments from other people, so I'm not the only one for whom that channel is something special, and help them through some stuff. So there is, it's a baking channel, yes, but it does a lot of good for a lot of people, just for being a wholesome, very relatable content with honest people. So you see that the contrast already, that already gives it a little bit more pop, makes it a bit more interesting to look at. We have a little bit of shadow here. We should also add this a bit more three-dimensional. Yeah, you're right. That's what I'm in now. It has to be a bit more adjusted so that it fits to the rest again. I also have to be careful with the darker pencil. It can, there can be a bit of dust that falls down with it, and it can very quickly ruin your picture. If you start to spread that. But that is most of it. I think it is not unsuccessful. normally like to give it a little bit of a contrast line also for, so something that the eye can just cling to. Just give it a little bit of character down here, so that we also have a little bit of context, that the head is not just floating. We will also, I think, make this line a bit thicker. Just so it doesn't get lost. Contrast to the other parts. The same with the face, actually. I think we, at least the ear. I'm not sure if we will do that for the complete facial line. But I think you can recognize him. I think you can. That's the goal, right? So a little bit more this line is a bit wrong now. Try to make it not so prevalent. Perfect. So a bit of the darker lines just for contrast purposes, just so they stand out a little bit more, as they do in the original, and as they give us a much more interesting picture. Eric Martin, welcome. Hey, how are you, Eric? Thank you very much for dropping by. How are you today? So we are actually pretty far in, very far in at this point, on our Dave portrait. I think still we can do a bit with the eyes, make them a bit more interesting. This shadow area is also very pronounced in the original, so it will help us to get this also a bit more fleshed out. So, but let us just, for funsies, put it next to the N one that a lot of you have already seen, I guess. It's a bit difficult to get them next to each other. I wanted to do this as completing the set, so I want them to fit reasonably well to each other. The thing is, of course, there is a lot of more detail in... Let me see, you don't see both. It is difficult for me to show you both, but you can see the eye of the eyes of ants, and they are a lot more pronounced. They are very defined with those hard lines. I cannot do that with the Dave ones because it very quickly looks like makeup, even if there is none. But I still should try to get those lines a bit more defined, more clear, so that it fits a bit better. But other than that, they work pretty good together, I would say. Just let us try to get a little bit more definition into the eyes. And then I think we have done a good job. It also sometimes happens automatically if you have very good resolution originals you're working with. This is not a very good resolution, but it is absolutely working. But it is not, if you have extremely sharp resolution pictures, you often more or less automatically bring in all those details and more detailed lines. Sometimes with a lower resolution picture you have to invent details, and I always say, I have not even done that here yet, but I think the eyes are just a smidge too small for that, and the danger is big that it looks artificial. So normally I tend to, if I can't see eyelashes, I tend to invent them into the picture. You know, so because human eyes have always eyelashes. There are very few exceptions. Kinky Girl, welcome. Thank you very much for joining, and Lainey, thank you for confirming that they work good together. So even if I can't see the eyelashes, I normally just then invent them, because you know there are eyelashes. Human beings have eyelashes. So they help even if you cannot see them in the reference picture. Here we are too far away from the eyes. I think if I would add eyelashes here, it would very quickly look like makeup. It can very quickly look like makeup. Okay, so I think they are pretty close style-wise. I think we have managed to not really ruin this one with smudges or something. Clean up a little bit. See what can happen with this. The pencil that I'm using there is very, very soft. It is called Blackstone. It is the darkest that I have ever found. I love that pen, but you see the risk with it. It is very, very soft, which is a plus, but can become dangerous. You can imagine if I would go like this, it would be ruined. I won't. I would make sure that even when I imitate this to let you know what I'm thinking, that I am far away from the picture so that it doesn't happen on purpose. We have April 1st, but I will not just destroy this yet now and say, haha, April fooled. I think I will add a little bit of contrast to this side, just a bit. So it gets more, bit more pop from the background. Hey, 50 likes, yes. We're already at 57. So, but I think that's always the danger. I'm thinking about if I can add more, change more, correct more, but there is a point where it gets too much and where you don't add any more to a picture. So that is often a question, when to finish a picture, when to say this is finished. There is very seldomly a point in time where you go, oh, this is, I cannot add anything more, this is perfect the way it is. There are always things that you're not happy with, things difficult to change, but there's also just a point in time where when you change something, you don't really add any more to it. Does not work better. And you can even hurt the picture if you overthink it and try to control too much. So I am in that area. I am very dangerously approaching where that starts to happen. Anna Jane, thank you very much. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for appreciating the picture. No worry, Mohit. Thank you so much for staying all the way with me. And see you soon, I hope. Yes, so that is our Dave. As I said, I'm entering the dangerous area of too much. Okay, so we are entering the area of too much, so I should stop. There's still some areas where there really needs a little bit more of shadow detail, for example. this is very concentrated now. That's why I'm also a bit quiet. Because I do not want to, in the last few breaths, I do not want to ruin this. You know? So everything I'm doing right now is very concentrated. So, oh, but that's it. Not 100% sure with this line down here. It could be a bit lower. I think it is. Good thing if it's not, it's light enough that it is also easily erasable. Probably too low now. Okay, but I think all in all, bit dark on the line so it does not get lost for the eye. Yeah, works. Nitilamala, sorry for butchering your name. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for stopping by and appreciating the picture. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you like it. So, yeah, I am pretty happy, I think. This is our Dave. As I said, if I do much more, I will probably ruin it. I will take a look at it later. I always take... I am ruining it. I always take a step back and look at it later. Sometimes you just... Arjan, thank you very much for dropping by. Thank you. And thank you for liking the picture. I always have to take a little bit of a step back and see then that there are always areas that you just forgot. That can happen. That there are complete areas that you just forgot that you haven't shaded at all. Because we're so concentrated in other areas, so you don't see it anymore if you look for too long on your picture. Or just things that are not completely in proportion we can still try to fix a little bit of a proportion. So for example, the picture that I have done yesterday in the stream, this one, I have around the nose here stuff that I have to fix. This looks a little bit too denty, as if it was more indent than it should. So I have to fix a little bit of that shadow, and then that also works well, I think. But here, with my current view, my current impression is I cannot do any more to make this better. I can make a lot more to make it different. I cannot make a lot more to make it better. So I would say this is it for now. He said and took the pencil and continued working on it. No, I have to stop myself now. Sorry. This is it for now. I think I will try to move the camera upwards a little bit so you can get a better view on we can get them next to each other, because one of the goals was to make them work with each other, meaning contrast and stuff like that is pretty similar. So it is difficult. I could do it like this, and you can, if you have a smartphone, you can move your screen. But you see here on the right and on the left our Dave. So there is a difference in pronunciation of the lines around the eyes, but that is also a little bit more typical. If I put too much emphasis on the eyes, for Dave it looks a lot like makeup, so would not really work that well. So I think that is okay. I could also go darker in this area, for example, for Dave, this shadow. I might do a little bit correction here. I could go darker there, but it is kind of like in line with what I did for the N one, so it might stay that way. Yeah, so that is our Dave. There is always, when I had the live stream, there's always a timelapse video that I create out of that footage. Not sure, I originally planned to release this one very early, so more or less today already. I might have to take a step back because of this is now in the face cam. I have to take a little bit time off over the weekend. I'm not sure if I would finish this before that. Changed my setup now. That is why I have not shown you the dog earlier when he came here with that camera, because it messes with my complete setup. And yeah, there will be time lapse. I will release it. Thank you very much, Pinky Girl. And I really appreciate it. And there will be a time lapse. I don't know exactly when. Just hit the bell, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell. If I'm lucky, Anne will also be so kind again to share it on the community page. I hope Dave likes it. You probably haven't noticed, just because before some of you came, Anne, or at least her account, I'm not sure if it was Anne or Dave, dropped by And there! You are still here. Thank you so much for still staying here. This is the result for today. Hello mini dishes, welcome to the stream, and thank you Anne and perhaps also Dave for being here and seeing this. I think it works pretty well. And yeah, I very much appreciate that you have shared it. It means a lot. It has brought me over 1,000 subs and got me a lot of views, so very much appreciated. Means the world to me. Thank you very much, Mini Dishes, for liking the picture. As I said, there might be little things that I change, that I add. Not much, I think. I'm pretty, from my perspective right now, I'm pretty happy with it. Yoti, thank you very much for joining the stream and for being here. This will be put into a... I started 3 times now, I think. This will be put in a time lapse. It will be released on my channel. I would very much appreciate if you guys subscribe and put that notification bell on so you don't miss it. And yeah, it was a fun stream, very fun stream. Thank you so much, and see you soon. Goodbye.